Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. I have a little walkthrough for you of this, and there's a packet that will come with it. This is made from fabric. Inside the fabric is bubble wrap. It has nice squishy sound. The front cover I showed on another video. It's made from the tops of coffee cans, or that aluminum kind of can, and it's been embossed and painted and sewn on some muslin pieces. There's some distress ink done on both sides with stencils, kind of make it look like bubbles, and then some netting sewn around. There's 2 strips of sewing, have orange and turquoise, and the enclosure is 2 coral color eyelets. I use the orange to kind of bring together the coral pieces on the inside, and this is kind of like nautical string is what I think of it as, and I've done a slip knot to tie it together. Make 1 loop around, and then pull the whole leg of it through and tighten it like so. And that's how I did that. The inside, some sheer fabric, and I've glued that down with some, to make it look like pebbles, I painted some of this. Kind of looks like big long strips of gold, and I cut that down and painted it white to kind of make it look like pebbles at the bottom of the ocean, I guess, if you will. And inside, this book belongs to, with some sari silk topper and the note from the bookmaker. It's been printed on tea-dyed paper, so it has a nice grungy edge to it. Then I just put some edging off of ribbon to kind of make it, I hope, look like coral. This is also from the coffee pot lids where I did some die cuts and painted them. Wanted it to look kind of like seaweed. Our first page is vellum, crunchy vellum that I have used distress ink on, kind of blues and browns. Another pocket from the coffee lids. This little specimen card is made from a toilet paper roll. Has a little charm on it and a starfish inside. A couple little writing spots. This one has sari silk sewn on the side. This is on regular paper that I have stenciled on one side. This is a fabric pocket that I've used aluminum foil and done some painting on it. A little bit of net, seize the day. And this is 2 pockets. And there's a tiny little seashell right there tucked in. A real seashell. I believe it was from Florida. Stump Pass, maybe? Blind Pass, something like that. I have a grungy playing card. It has coffee filter collage to it. And then this is held on with the brad, so you could take that off. You could use these fibers, and it's just 2 writing spots joined together. Some of the, I call it elementary school paper, little fabric tab, and I've inked around most of the edges. I did some more distress inking on that. Tab. This is tea-dyed paper, grit dyed paper. This was some packing paper that I used to catch some sprays and stuff when I was working on a different project. I just thought it was so pretty. And the back of it's just as pretty, I think. Some sari silk ruffle. This is like, I don't know if this is tracing paper or what kind of paper that is. This book I started, I don't even know how long ago. I couldn't remember anything about it. Evidently, I love to sew. I must have been just getting my sewing machine because there's a lot of random sewing in here. I tried to use, this is a brown paper bag and some lace. I tried to use the papers that were already in here. some faux tickets made from brown paper bag, and this writing spot is made from a paint sample, more of the top or aluminum can top that I've grunged it to look like rust, little cluster. So as I was saying, I was trying to keep all the papers that were in it when I found it in the closet, and I just added some to it, so I'm not exactly sure what some of these papers are. More sari silk, feels like tracing paper, handmade paper, tea-dyed, little tab. That's just been stapled on, and I don't know, it's hard to see. There are numbers stamped on it. Some corrugated packing. This is like tracing or baking paper. A writ-dyed envelope. Junk mail envelope. Some writing spots. This is some textured, really cool textured hand. I guess, no, I don't think it's handmade paper. It's just textured paper. And this is some of the alcohol inks on photo paper. And I just thought it was so pretty. It's probably not showing up, but it has really pretty markings on it. So you could write on the back of that. More tea-dyed. This is a gel. No, it's watercolor. I did some watercolor painting on this side with chiffon or sari silk ruffle with some eyelash trim in it. And then on the center, glued to the watercolor, this is a book page that has napkin collage to it, some stamping, has really good texture. And there are pockets at the top. This one is a writing spot with a brad at the top. The orange ribbon in the center. On this side is another pocket with some of the seaweed looking die cut from the aluminum foil. A little piece of corrugated cardboard. And some eyelash trim. And I don't know how I feel about this. This I made from a popsicle stick, obviously. And I liked it. I love how it turned out. I put some distress ink on it. Then I stamped it. But it's kind of bent. And I found that when I put the eyelets in, you have to be very careful because it will, of course, bust. But, so I understand if you want to take these off. They're just on with jump rings. This one says breathe. It's a little homemade paper button. And then I just sewed some, or tied some fibers into like a tassel on the other end. Some eyelash trim, crinkled seam binding, different things that you could use throughout your book if you didn't want to leave it as a bookmark. But that's what the bookmark, that's the center of it. That's what the tassel is from. And then on this side I have more sari silk with eyelash trim in the center. I didn't get that in the pocket, did I? More tea-dyed paper. This is the other half of the writ dyed envelope. I didn't emboss anything. That's the purpose of the other envelope in these fibers. But inside of this window is a faux postcard. Had some pretty blue markings in it. A little grungy notebook. Has a little, I don't know what that's called. And a number 3. And the papers are very, very grungy. And it's been stapled. And then this piece is also from photo paper. This is also from photo paper that I'm not sure, I think this might be Distress Oxide inks on this. A little bit of stamping. I've sewn on 2 vellum pockets. It's no, it's not. I just told you it was copy paper. Photo paper. And I cut it to shape like a file folder. This is just a little writing spot, a map. And then this envelope is back to tea-dyed paper. This fabric is fused to copy paper wrapper. that I ironed it on, fused it to it. And then so you would have writing, I added some tea-dyed paper on the inside. More tracing paper, corrugated packing paper. This is tea-dyed paper. I've sewn on a little, or glued on a little tatty tab. And these are some of the, I like the sound, kind of metal sound. It's some of the die cuts that I done from the coffee lid, or hot chocolate lid, I think it was. This one has a number stamped on it. This one's just rust, a painted rust color. And my Crafted by Christy thing. Handmade paper. I guess this is drawing paper. I don't know what that is. I'm so sorry. The other side of the paper bag has a very grungy guest check that I have tea-dyed. I think this was coffee and tea. I tore off the receipt stub from the bottom, made a pocket, and inside is just a couple little pieces. One vellum piece, and that's a writing piece. I put this paper in because for some reason it reminds me of being at a drive-in with this pattern. I don't know why. Maybe I've been to one that had that design. Not sure. So that's just a writing spot, and then cool looking tag. You know, I just noticed that says layaway tag. Do you remember layaways? Do they still even do that? I can remember being so excited about putting clothes on layaway and knowing I was going to get them off in however many months. More of that paper, I don't know what it is, and a fabric tab. The packing paper, sari silk, Rit dye paper, tea-dyed paper, little ribbon there, lace, sorry, elementary paper, and then a little cluster down here, a little tab that says Dog Island. Wonder where that is. I'll have to look it up. And then a little stamp there on some muslin. This side has been stenciled with, looks like bubbles, different colors of inks. And there is the end of the signature. In the back, this was regular paper, like thin paper. Can't remember the kind. And I Mod Podged it, and then I put alcohol inks on it because I had read that you could, as long as you had a surface for the alcohol ink to move, it would work. And it didn't really move around that great, but I still thought the colors were really pretty. So I made a pocket out of this. Inside is more of the textured paper for writing. And this I did include because I thought maybe it could be used either for writing or maybe like a book board as you're writing. I thought it was fitting. It says the shipwreck in this little cluster. That must be some packaging. I'm not sure. This was in the book that I haven't worked on forever, so I'm not really sure what it is. So there it is. The little sea turtle journal. That rhymes, sea turtle journal. Okay, and then this piece is big jumbo paper clip, and this is contact paper that I have glued or put down on packing paper and then sewn around it, left all the strings, and the strings are on in the book as well. There's lots of grungy strings. And then I glued on a couple pieces of those die cuts from the aluminum. Looks, I don't know, reminded me of cogs in a ship. I'm not really sure. So there's that. And then on the inside is just our offcuts. Like this is from the specimen card. Thought maybe you could make a pocket or writing or create clusters. Here's some more of the aluminum foil, and this is some of the topper that was painted. Little piece of muslin. Just some offcuts and things that, I don't know, I guess if they need to be thrown away, you could throw them away, please. But I thought they would be good to decorate the pockets, that I don't normally decorate the pockets. So there's some pieces to do that with. And I was thinking these, along with the fibers, piece of fabric, would be good to to decorate the pockets. And then this is just another piece of aluminum foil, some more of those die cuts. I didn't know this might be good to make a grungy notepad or over the page kind of writing, anything like that. These are also things like this I intended to put in the book that I didn't get in there, so I've included them in this packet. It's just little odds and ends. So that is the Sea Turtle Journal. I will have it up in my Etsy shop soon. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. Maybe got some ideas. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I hope that you got maybe some inspiration from this. Maybe some things that you haven't seen before, or different ways of doing things you have seen before. But I like that this little charm comes out from the bottom on that popsicle stick. I'm sad that again, these popsicle sticks were from the Dollar Tree, so they weren't, high quality. But I imagine, I don't know, it just seems kind of warped. I loved it. I let it go anyway, so I hope you're not offended by that, because I'm telling you, it doesn't lay totally flat. I just thought it was pretty how it turned out. So, that's all my rambling for today. I hope you like this. It should be in my Etsy shop, hopefully later on today. And I appreciate you stopping in, and I will see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.